it's time to explore a really quite useful little tool in Microsoft Project, and that is the ability to add in recurring tasks. So we know how to add a new task in, give it a duration, and then decide on its predecessors and its resources. But if we want to add a recurring task, and recurring tasks can be used for a variety of reasons, perhaps we want to have project meetings on a regular basis. That would be a recurring task. In order to add a recurring task, we use the task ribbon, come all the way along to the insert group. Task has a drop down, and one of the options is recurring task. Can I insert task before a project summary task because I'm here? Okay, go down to task 1 and try again. Insert recurring task. So we have a recurring task dialog box. The recurring task dialog box requires a name. I'm going to call it project review meeting. The recurring task requires a duration. So that's the duration of each task. So each meeting is simply going to be half a day long. So 0.5D. What's the recurring pattern? And you'll see this is very similar to Outlook if you use Outlook. We can have a recurring pattern that is daily, so every day. And you can see that you can choose between days and work days. So you don't have to have things occurring on a weekend. Weekly. If we're going to go recurring weekly, is it every 1 week, or every second week, or every third week on particular days? Monthly. So we can choose things like day 3 of every month or day 3 of every 2 months, or the first Monday of every month. So it may be, in the case of our review meetings, we want to have one at the beginning of every month. So it would be the first Monday in each month. So we've got a lot of options there for different frequencies of occurrence. And then there's even annually. So on a particular date, or on a bit like the month one, really, the first Monday of October, or the first Thursday of October, or the last Monday of October. So that will be an annual project review meeting. My project review meetings are going to be daily, not half a day, half an hour, and then only on work days. So it doesn't try to generate a recurring appointment for a weekend. What's my range of recurrence? Well, you'll see it defaults to the project start date. So that's the 3rd of October and ends by, and that will just be the current projected finish date. Now, if my project is likely to run over that, and I know it likely is, then I can push the finish date a lot further back. Let's go all the way to the end of January. And you can see the number of occurrences has then increased itself to 87. There is an option for using a calendar control how and when this task will appear, because at the moment it will be half an hour, and that half an hour will be at the beginning of the working day, so 8 till half 8. But I could create a specific calendar and assign it to this task. So I've created a task that is going to recur effectively half an hour every weekday from the start until way past the end of the project. Okay. What then happens is Microsoft Project creates one half an hour task for each of the possible occurrences. And we can see them here, project review meeting on the 3rd, on the 4th, on the 5th. So the one every day. You'll see that there is a soft constraint against each of these tasks. And that's what's making them fall on the specific date. So it has this task as a start note earlier than constraint of Monday, October the 3rd. And then the second will be Tuesday, October the 4th. And then Wednesday, October the 5th. And we go down to Thursday, Friday, and the next one will be the Monday, because Saturday and Sunday are non-working days. So it's created an actual specific single task for each of the meetings, but it's placed them under a heading, project review meeting. And I can then condense that heading, but I still see individual bars that represent those tasks. So each of those meetings for half an hour at the beginning of each day. If I then want to edit those meetings, I can either visit each one individually. So I can go to each one of these and make an edit. I may even wish to delete one of them. So maybe this one here on the Thursday 13th. I know that's not going to happen. I can delete that just as I can delete other tasks. It's not going to break anything. If, however, I need to make a change to the recurrence, effectively to the pattern, then I can double click project review meeting heading, and that will take me into the recurring task information, where I might perhaps change the duration or change it to days rather than work days, or maybe even change the pattern completely. So they become weekly meetings. If I want to make this a weekly meeting, so let's say every week on a Monday, we'll actually have a 2-hour meeting, starting at the start of the project and finishing way past the end of the project. Okay. To change the frequency of recurring task, project must reschedule all the unstarted occurrences. Have project delete all current unstarted occurrences of recurring tasks, replace them with new occurrences based on the new schedule criteria, click OK. Effectively changed entirely the pattern. It asks me if I'm sure I want to change this pattern, and it will need to remove all the others, so the daily ones, and replace it with our new pattern. That's fine, thank you. And there's my new pattern. 2-hour meeting on every Monday within the project and beyond the project, just in case the project runs over. It's done exactly the same. It's placed little constraints that cause that particular individual meeting to take place in that particular week. And if I compress up the summary task, I still see a blue bar where the meetings are going to take place each week. So I can create recurring tasks, as many of them as I want. I can re-edit them by revisiting the summary task that is created that encompasses each of the individual tasks, or I can edit and delete the individual tasks. So if I, for example, wanted to make this meeting here that's partway through, I'm going to make that a little bit longer, that's going to go 4 hours, then I can edit that with having no knock-on effect to any of the other recurring tasks. What I can't do, though, is re-change the criteria here. So let's say 2 hours again. Let's go to Tuesday, not the Monday. Okay. And it makes the adjustment to Tuesday, and you can see the 4 hours is unaffected. If I go in and change the duration to 1.5 hours, trying to save a little bit of time on everybody. Okay. That then gets applied down the list, but my 4 hours remains the same. Because I've effectively manually overridden that task responding to the recurrence control, it stops responding to the recurrence control on the value that I've edited. So I changed the duration. It now will not listen to what effectively is a global attempt to change that duration. So be careful about overriding individual occurrences, because they then fall out of the recurrence pattern. They'll still stay in here, they'll still compress when I compress, and it's still editable. I could even delete it, but it won't respond to a change in the global settings for this particular recurrence pattern. So that's recurring tasks. Quite useful, very helpful, and very, very quick to add and edit.